Yeah, I will say, as I've in looking at, particularly in the evangelism class I'm doing now, one I did last fall, where students post, online, and they don't speak up in class. They post things, and they often they say things they wouldn't say in class when they post. This is, I guess, this social media phenomena. Nothing inappropriate, but sometimes they talk about their struggles, and some of what I think part of what I'm thinking about of how hard it is to live out this love, uh, you know, has been some of the stories that they've told about the struggles, conflicts within the church, not only about in the United Methodist Church in disaffiliation, but of course there are other conflicts all the time too, and hard feelings and things like that, and so it's been it's a tough situation, and you think this is not, we can disagree, but this is not the way this is not a good witness. And if you damage the witness, your evangelism's going to be pretty hollow. So,
Hal, isn't it the case, speaking of witness, that there's a sense in which the accountable discipleship, the hallmark of the small groups, I guess you could say, Wesley was very concerned that the witness of the Methodists would be lost.
mm-hmm.
And so that need for watching over one another in love was not just for the sake of our own spiritual development, but was also for our witness to the world, that others might come to believe.
Yeah, I think I think you're right. He certainly was concerned about our growth. I mean, because that was very central. But the problem he had when the societies got large, say particularly like London and Bristol, where you had over 1,000 people, they were no longer a small group themselves, and some of the Methodists, some of the members of the society were what he called disorderly walkers. They were not following the Methodist discipline. They were not living it out well, and people would point to them and say, "See, this is what happens when you become a Methodist." So the reputation of the whole group was being damaged by these individuals, and the class meeting, which emerged mainly originally to gain financial support to build a chapel in Bristol, became the system by which people held each other accountable for following the Methodist discipline, the 3 rules of discipline, and living it out, but also a place where they could talk about the difficulty of living it out and kind of explore, okay, I ran into this week. What do I do? And so they actually, I mean, one of the things I know in most of our churches, we don't have those kind of conversations. And I think we need those. We need to talk about, what does it mean to follow Jesus? What does it mean to live it out? Not only would it be good to have something like that discipline, but it would be good to have a place where you could talk about it. And I think you're right. I think that something like that would help our witness as it's embodied in local churches and in individuals too, of course. Yeah.
So much of what you said was so powerful, and you started by the foundation for the Wesleyan way of evangelism, which is God is love. And then I'm just going to mention one of the things that was so piercing to me. I don't know if I've heard it before. How we carry out controversy is a witness in itself. That just changes everything. Because it's about love, you know, so.
Mhm. It is.
And I think it helps family life, it helps church life, it helps denominational life, it helps Christendom. You know, so thank you for that.